So I grew up in a Reform household, meaning that we emphasized Friday nights over Saturday mornings. So I also grew up, my mom would usually cook dinner. Sometimes my dad would just rush in from work. He's a surgeon, so rush in to have dinner. Sometimes maybe he'd not quite make it to dinner. We did usually go to Friday night services, which at that time were probably at like 8 o'clock at night, because that's when Reform services usually happened in those days. And I was, as a kid, we went to services almost every week. And I remember being allowed to like stay in services through some prayer. And then I was allowed to leave and go like hang out with the other kids in the library or something like that. And we would play tic-tac-toe or hangman or something on the library chalkboard. But it was part of, what we did every week. And I don't know that it was particularly normative from like, I didn't have a lot of friends that I saw at Friday night services on a regular basis, but it was something my parents were very interested in. My synagogue, we had Saturday school for seventh grade B'nai Mitzvah year. So we went to school with our parents, and the rabbi was our teacher Saturday mornings. And then all of us were expected, parents included, to go to Shabbat morning services. So we always had a minyan because all the seventh grade parents were at services. And like then only, whichever bat mitzvah was happening that week would be excused from class and show up to, take pictures and lead services and read Torah and stuff like that. So it's kind of like built in that you're going to show up for your friends because you're already there for class, etc. I also grew up going to Reform summer camp. I grew up at Asrui, so had a practice of Shabbat from that camp side of things. Different musical aesthetic in my home, but same kind of, candles, kiddush, get dressed up, have services that are different, or reading Saturday morning, things like that. When I went to college, I had been a leader in my youth group. My cantor had invited me to sing songs with the adult choir and to sing solos from the High Holiday Bima as a senior in high school. And I got to college and I kind of expected I will, be president of Hillel one day or something like that. And I showed up and to our first week Friday night services, and the Hillel at NYU at that time, they had Orthodox services and they had egalitarian services. So I knew which one I wanted to be at, but I didn't know that egalitarian was code for conservative. And I did not know the conservative service. I didn't know the music. I didn't know the prayer book. I didn't like the let's sing one part of the paragraph together. Let's read the rest of it silently. Let's sing the rest of it at the bottom. Like it was very foreign. It felt very not like the Judaism that I was familiar with. And it did not come back right away. It took a while. It took some conversations with the rabbi who was the head of Hillel. And it took starting with a small group of friends similar to me who felt that neither of these worship spaces suited their needs. We started a Reform minyan at Hillel at NYU. So I would say that what I remember most from that Hillel time period was that on Friday afternoons, I would be exhausted and like, I don't want to go to Hillel. I have to walk 20 minutes across Manhattan to get there. And do I really want to do this? All my roommates and my friends are, they're starting their party evening, whatever they're doing. And I would go and I would lead services and I would be so glad that I went, and it just like washed all the garbage of the week away. And that's what kept me coming back, was that even when I didn't really want to be there in the first place, I still felt really good having done it by the time I was done with it. So, and then I basically went to cantorial school pretty much out of college. So there were weeks I did not work when we were in Jerusalem for school. I did not have a pulpit. We had all sorts of Shabbat rituals that we did as rabbi and cantor classmates. And then I started pulpit work, and there are Fridays, there are Shabbats that I'm off vacation, And I tend to not go to synagogue when I'm off for vacation. I tend to have Shabbat with my children, with my family, make sure that, make sure the kids actually get to light candles and sing Kiddush, which often happens when I'm not home, but not always.